Hello, I'm Pierre, and I'm with Noé today.
Hey there.
And we're gonna talk about the AstroLab 37.
Yeah.
So we launched it last week.
Yeah.
It was quite an
right.
impressive launch. A lot of noise
Yeah.
around this product. We're super excited to show it today, and maybe go a bit deeper than what you have seen so far. Show a bit of what we really like about this product, why we made it, also some small tips and tricks.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting.
We're gonna show.
Yeah.
So maybe just a step back.
Yeah, we should circle back on what AstroLab is actually, because this is the third AstroLab that comes out, and I think it's really important to take it from the beginning.
Yeah. So basically, 1.5 years ago, we released AstroLab 61, which was the first stage keyboard that we created at Arturia, and it was really targeted at keyboard players that want to play live with all the sounds that we have in V Collection and in Pigments, and making sure that they have all the controls that they need to perform live with it, and use it like on top of their digital piano. Like it was really like the Swiss Army knife that you can carry around everywhere and have all the synthesizer sounds, all the organ sounds, all those sounds that you basically don't have on most of the 88 keys, and offer this quite unique workflow of being able to take all the sounds that you have in the studio and carry on stage with all those sounds. So it was quite a successful launch.
It made some noise, definitely.
It was. I mean, it's AstroLab is quite unique, and like it's the first time we have this amount of sounds, this workflow from the studio to the stage to be able to have all these sounds that run on a single hardware. It's quite unique. So
it is very
I think
unique,
it made a lot of noise. And then this year in April we released the bigger brother, which was the AstroLab 88. And it's exactly the same concept as the 61,
just
but
88
with
keys.
88 keys. So now it's not only like the keyboard that you put on top, but it's gonna be your main keyboard where you're gonna play both the pianos, the electric pianos, but we have also all the synths. And now we have AstroLab 37 that's out, and it's quite a different beast.
It is actually. So maybe we should circle back and with the 61 and the 88s, the target user, it's pretty clear. I mean, it's people that go on stage, play on stage, keyboardists mainly. But with this one, I mean, it's much smaller. It's got slim keys. So can you tell us about who's that for actually?
So it's quite interesting because it's like it opens to a whole different audience. And a lot of the people that were actually really interested when we launched AstroLab 61 and the 88, in the end, it was not really a product that was fitted for them because the 61 and the 88 were really targeting more people that want to play traditional keyboard on stage. But this one is really open to a bigger audience, because now it's not only live gigging musicians that can find the use, but like also like bass players that want to have analog bass on top of the electric bass that they use on stage. But also you can think about guitar players.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I mean, in modern genres, you always need to have these kind of synth sounds, and sometimes the keyboard player is already playing too many parts. And it's nice that the guitar player can take over. And finally, I think it's also opening to like more producers and people that don't necessarily play the keys that much, but still want to have all the sounds that they know and love from the V Collection, from Pigments, available whenever they're not home or if they're performing live. Some people like DJs are also performing live, and it's nice to have all those sounds. So basically just much broader use cases for this AstroLab 37, and obviously it's much smaller. It's also like more affordable, obviously. So it's really easy to make it fit in any kind of hybrid setup.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if you're a guitarist, a bassist, or even a DJ, and you got to take your sounds from the studio to the stage, that's exactly what you need, because it allows you to do so super easily. And we're gonna circle back on this a bit later. But yeah, maybe just before this we can, circle back again on how did you guys have this idea of putting, a whole software ecosystem basically into a single little small keyboard.
Yes. Yeah, this one, the 37, it came quite late in the project. Right. But the AstroLab 61 and the 88, those were like the first ideas that we had, because we had a lot of feedback of people that were playing with those sounds, like using all our sounds in the studio to make their records, and then when they wanted to perform live with their music, they had to take the sounds that they used in the recordings and recreate them on like a Nord or on a workstation or on a synth. So it was really a long process to go through every time. So there was a big demand to have the sounds of the collection integrated into a hardware. But I think in general, like seeing all the quality and the depth and the width of all the instruments that we have in the collection, and having those sounds all available in a single keyboard was kind of a dream that we envisioned, and Frederick envisioned more than 10 years ago, I would say. And so it took a long time before we found the technology that enabled us to make that possible. But now it's possible. It was possible with the 61, and now we've even managed to shrink everything down, reduce the costs as much as possible to make it affordable to anyone that wants to have those sounds on the go. Yeah,
that's a dream come true, basically.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I feel like we should jump in right away and explore the sounds that this thing proposes, because there's a lot of them.
Yes.
And even more than when we released AstroLab 61, because, when you think about this, it's a platform. So as long as we, renew our ranges, add some instruments to the V collection, those are coming straight into it. So you get new presets, new instruments, a whole new sonic territory sometimes also. So it's really, really impressive.
Yeah. Maybe if I can start by some of the sounds that we mentioned for the bass players, for example. So obviously, we have the bass button. So this layout is super simple for the ones that never saw the AstroLab. So here you have access to the most common types of sounds. So I can select bass. So it's a Moog bass. So just that, having like an analog synth, virtual analog, but like fat sounding, like super
really
real
fat.
sounding, it's probably one of the best emulation of a mini Moog. And now it's available in such a small form factor, and so just that only, like having all these analog synthesizers built in such a tiny keyboard, being able to take it on rehearsal, but take it in a jam session, being able to have all these sounds, this diversity of sounds in such a form factor, it's quite amazing. And as I said, for the guitar players, it's maybe more the synths in general, and like especially the pads. So.
I love this one. It's one of my favorite presets.
So that's like a CS80.
Which is crazy that when you think about it, there's a CS80 inside of this, which is not the usual kind of synth you would take on stage. And it sounds amazing. Yes. Sweet. Yeah, awesome.
And that's really nice to have this diversity of sounds, being able to play the basses, the synths. I showed you that we have also the pianos at the beginning. So obviously you're not gonna play like a full concert on 37 keys, but it's nice for modern producers or modern pop acts, like to be able to have like a piano sound sometimes, it's super handy to have.
Yeah, you have a lot of choice with this. Yeah. And I mean, which kind of music you're into or what you're making, but you're gonna find happiness in there. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's really like an inspiration machine because you have really such a diversity of sounds, but the amount of control is just right, so you don't feel overwhelmed. Yep. Especially as we mentioned, like bass players, guitar players. They're not necessarily synth experts, but they still want to have those sounds. They still want to express themselves with the sounds. And so the creation that we've done on the macros to make sure that everything makes sense, that every knob that you turn is gonna have an impactful action on the sound. Definitely. That's super useful for those musicians.
And props to you on this, because every single preset on this, when you turn the macros, these make sense. Yeah. They make a lot of sense. Yeah. You have an effect. You always encounter some kind of an element of something new, and it's really. I mean, every preset is pretty refreshing, I think. It's also a very nice machine to jam. That's what I like to do with it. Just take it home. Yeah. Have my instruments laying around. Use this as kind of a sound palette, and that's really, really efficient as this. And what's your favorite sound on it, actually? Because there's a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of sounds that it's hard to pick, and it really depends on the scenario. But some of the sounds I actually really like are in the artist tributes.
Yeah, that's cool.
So maybe it's a good way to talk about artist tributes. Basically, it's a section of sounds that we recreated based on some of the most iconic tracks for the past decades. Yeah. The most iconic artists that are using a lot of synthesizers and keyboard sounds. So, for example, here you have Daft Punk, you have Floyd.
Oh, there's a lot.
So you have Pink Floyd tributes where you have sounds like this one.
Yeah, when you turn the macro, it's really nice.
So these kind of sounds are super easy to have fun with, basically, because it sounds exactly. We have stuff much more modern, but we have stuff like Daft Punk.
French company, we had to make this.
I don't know how to play it very well.
There's one that I really love in this tribute, which is, where is this one? It's this one.
Yeah, nice.
It really sounds super faithful to the song, actually.
Yeah.
And most of the artist tributes are like this. You just stumble and preset, and sometimes it's not even in the tribute, and you're like, oh, that's from a song I know. Yeah,
exactly. But it's somehow the tributes presets allow the presets to make sense. Yeah. Because when you hear it and when you see the name of the artist, you immediately have a picture of the whole atmosphere of the song. So it's really nice to have those in here.
And it's all across the board. So you have, funk, soul stuff, electronic music stuff, pop music stuff also. And
so you have the Beatles. So you have obviously some of the pianos, but one of the most iconic sounds is from the Mellotron. So we have Strawberry Fields.
Yeah.
So we have all the sounds. So it's quite endless, the amount of sounds we can play on this.
Yeah, it's super versatile. I mean, the fact that we just went from Pink Floyd, Daft Punk, the Beatles, and all of the sounds are in there. It also means that you have how many decades of instruments and sound in this. It's crazy.
And you? Are there some sounds that you really like?
There's, a bunch of sounds that I love on this, but there's this preset that I'm absolutely obsessed with ever since we released AstroLab 61. It's a Prophet preset. Sounds like this. And what I really like about this is that you can feel the aftertouch. Yeah. And I loved it on the 61, which is, expected that you have aftertouch on the 61. On the 88, I loved it also because you guys nailed the aftertouch on the 88, and it's a heavy-weighted keyboard. So again, wonderful. And on the 37, I was a bit afraid of being able to
the expressivity.
The expressivity, because it's so small. And you guys didn't disappoint. So it's really, really expressive, really playable. And it sounds, always sounds amazing.
Yeah, I mean, in general, I think what's super amazing with these AstroLab 37 is like we managed to reduce the form factor, reduce some of the costs as well, to make it more affordable. But we didn't really sacrifice the playability.
Absolutely.
Having the aftertouch in here is super nice, and the quality of the keybed that we have in the Mini Freak, even in the Mini Labs, it's a keybed that's like super nice to play, even though it's slim keys. And that's we're super lucky to have these all combined in this instrument.
It's really nice. I've got a couple other presets that I really like. There's this one which is surprise. There's a vocoder inside. If you guys didn't know, so there's an audio input here. You can plug in any mic, and then you can just play the keys like this. And there's a vocoder which you can tweak also. I mean, it's super nice because it fits, I think, the form factor of it. You're used to seeing, micro chords, for example. With this vocoder, it's become like pretty much a staple of a lot of rock bands. The fact that you have one here and that you can, go deeper into the vocoder and edit how you want this to react to your voice. Massive thing.
Yeah, the vocoder is kind of a unique feature of the AstroLab 37, that's for sure.
And there's this one, of course, we talked about all these presets that were, mostly traditional presets. So you've got vintage synths, keys sounds. We didn't show the organ sounds yet, but there's a bunch of them. You also get some more modern sound textures, and that's what I really like. We got this pad here. I'm going to take the sustain pedal. So this one's from Pigments. What I really like with pads is to play with the effects. And there's a bunch of effects in AstroLab, especially the delay. So here it's a tape delay that I put on this preset. I'm gonna turn that all the way. And I can do some tape drifts. And that's something that I really like because those effects are models. It's the same as the sounds in it. So you can really interact with them. More so than most keyboards of this side. I think
maybe it's a good segue because indeed the effects on AstroLab are super important because it's the same effects that what we have in Analog Lab, and those are based on the algorithms that we have inside FX Collection. So they are also modeling like the actual hardware units. So here the tape delay is the classic tape that we all know.
And it's right behind us in the studio.
And so it's so amazing to have not only the instruments that are fully modeled of the analog synthesizers, we also have actual models of the FX pedals, which is quite amazing.
Yeah, that's really a thing.
And maybe let's show a bit more of what we can do with the effects. And one way to show it is I've prepared a playlist with a couple of sounds, and I can show a bit of what effects are on here. So here, that's Rhodes. So maybe. So here it's a Rhodes, and I've added, so that's the dry Rhodes, and I added a phaser. So that's a analog phaser, so really lush sound. So really classic sound that you can have with the Rhodes. Then there's a Wurlitzer, so. And here I can add a chorus.
Yeah, full on super tramp. Yeah.
But same for the clavinet, for example, here. And I can add some wah and some distortion. And again, it's like fully modeled based on a Crybaby, and so just amazing sounding effects. Same for the organ. So
yeah, it's a dry B3.
That's a dry B3, and so I can add some draw bars, but I can also add some distortion and an Leslie.
Sounds really lush. Yeah.
So yeah, amazing to have this wide palette of effects available at your fingertips on such a tiny keyboard.
Yeah. And this really fit with, you know, electromechanical instruments. So I mean, again, pianos, e-pianos, organs, but they're also really nice if you use them on synths. So we've got this 808. And of course, you can interact with the macros. But there's a couple of things you can do on the effect side. So there's a multi-filter here. I'm going to change it for a distortion. And distortion, you would expect it to be, you know, overdrive distortion, but there's much more in this. So there's a bit crusher, there's a wave shaper, and there's a wave folder that I really like this. So if I do this, and that's just an effect. So you get into some really interesting textures.
Even more sound design than just effects processing.
And it's just baffling that it's just, you know, one touch of a button, and really playable again. So 808, it's really classic. You can make it super interesting. We've got some basses from Pigments as well, and that's something that I personally love Pigments for. So
much more modern.
Crazy the density of sound you can have with just love this. That's for basses. We've got a bunch of sequences on this, and again they sound really cool.
So that's a 303.
I'm gonna put some reverb on this.
So it doesn't come only with the classical pianos, electric pianos. It also has like much more modern sounding instruments, and also much more like synth-oriented features. And some of the features that are super important on the AstroLab are the multis. So basically, they are AstroLab 37 and all the AstroLabs are multi-timbral. They can have two parts that play at the same time. And a good example of that is to be able to layer two sounds on top of each other. So here, for example, I've got like some kind of percussion drum loop and a bass line on top of it. So quite nice to create a full performance just with a bass and some rhythm. But alternatively, we can also make like more melodic stuff. So here, for example, I have a preset that is just repeating a note, but I can add an arpeggio on top of that. And now I'm creating an arpeggiated sequence. And I can also add a chord.
There's a chord mode.
So I can only play with one finger. So again, like for those bass players, guitar players that don't necessarily play the keys, but they still need to have those sounds, or singers even, I don't know, or producers to be able to perform live with some of the sounds and have like expressive and full performances just by playing with one finger and having all the sounds available is really, really nice. Maybe on a more traditional side, we have sounds like that, and that's showing a feature which is called splits. So basically a way to split the sounds from on the keyboard from the left and the right hand. So here I've got a bass that's running on the right side, and a synth pad I'm playing on the. And again, you have to touch. So yeah, you can create those splits. It's quite endless the amount of combinations that you can make when you start layering, making splits. So
yeah, right. It's really endless, and I think, I mean, we can dive a bit more into this through AstroLab. I mean, you made a playlist here, which is really nice because, I mean, it keeps you organized. If you're on a show, you can just switch sounds, have, I mean, the titles of the sounds, you can rename those.
Yep.
Imagine I have a huge show tomorrow and I have, 36 different songs to play.
Yeah.
Can I do this in the computer?
Yeah.
How do I do this?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, AstroLab is great for performance. It's like a really focused on the controls that you need when you're performing. The playlist is a very good example of that, because then you can quickly go from one song to another with just the click of one button, and you can organize your songs into a full performance. But for sure, if you have like a lot of stuff to edit at the same time and you have to be quick, it's still gonna take quite a bit of time to do everything on the AstroLab itself, because you need to dive into a couple of menus. So that's why having AstroLab next to it is super useful, because you can much quickly edit the sounds that you have on AstroLab, especially the playlists. If we can switch to the computer, for example, here I've got my playlist that we're showing, and I can just drag and drop presets within my playlist if I want to change the order.
That's already so cool, because I mean, you don't have to, do a bit of menu diving or hold in a function to put this somewhere. It's really nice.
And the thing that's super amazing and that's quite unique on the whole AstroLab ecosystem is that here I'm in the Explorer view and I'm trying some presets within AstroLab. It synchronizes automatically with the AstroLab, so I can try the sounds that are in AstroLab on my AstroLab, and whenever there's a sound that I like, I can just drag and drop it from my AstroLab to my AstroLab library, and then I can just take my AstroLab with me without needing the computer, and everything is fine. And similarly, if I want to add it to my playlist, I can drag and drop it on my playlist and really quickly organize it into songs.
Rearrange it. And you get a lot more presets on this also.
I mean, AstroLab comes with 2,500 presets, if I'm not wrong. A lot of sounds that you can still add to your AstroLab. I mean, most of the sounds are kind of the same, but
Yeah, because there's already 1,800 sounds inside. More than 1,800 sounds built in right away when you take it out of the box.
Yeah, I would say before you run out of sounds on AstroLab, it takes quite a while already. But sometimes you're interested in some specific genre, and that's why in AstroLab we also have like the sound store, where you can actually explore sounds by genres and or other artists, tributes that we've made. So, I mean, having AstroLab as the counterpart, the software counterpart of AstroLab, makes it quite unique, because it's endless. Like AstroLab is probably the widest sound palette you can have in a single instrument on software, and so having that communicates with AstroLab is quite
and amazing. I mean, if you're a producer, that's the thing you would be using in your DAW, and having the capacity to take your sounds from here, drop them here, go on stage, come back, do the same. I mean, you can go from studio to stage, and back, and it's always going to be the same workflow. So personally, I think the time you don't spend, organizing, trying to recreate some sounds, also, it's a lot of time you gain as time for inspiration, and that's really what we wanted to do with AstroLab.
And in terms of inspiration, it's as well like when you're in the studio and have your AstroLab. Oftentimes it can be a bit. You can get out of your flow when you're reaching to the computer to change the sounds, and so having the AstroLab even in your studio means that you have access to the sounds in here. You have access to the most important sounds here. You can focus on finding the right melody, finding the right chord progression on your AstroLab, and once you have found it, once you have found your sound, your harmony, then you can save it on an AstroLab. And continue working on a different track with your AstroLab. So the workflow in the studio is amazing, and being able to transfer your sounds on the AstroLab once you are ready to play live it's quite unique.
And the ability that you have with this to adjust on the fly, that's really a plus to me because, for example, you're in the studio alone.
Yeah.
If you play alone, that's okay.
Yeah.
But if you're playing with a band, you're gonna be in your studio, make your sound, go in a rehearsal space, rehearse with people. You're gonna have feedback, and maybe you'll want to change some stuff.
Yeah.
You can do it pretty easily with the macros. It has like sweet spots all over. But then if you want to change these presets or find a new one, it's really easy to, you've got a bunch of filters by genres, by instruments, by types of sounds, by even, goes as far as like, I want an airy pad, you're going to find this.
Yeah, that's AstroLab is really like to go deep and to make the sound design, find like specific sounds that you love the most and organize your library of AstroLab. Whenever you're performing, finding inspiration, you should definitely focus on the AstroLab.
So yeah, maybe that's a gateway to talk about what you can do in terms of assignation inside of an AstroLab, because that's what it's great for as well.
Okay, so maybe for people that are not too aware of the AstroLab, so here, for example, I've got a multi preset.
Yeah.
And one of the view of AstroLab is the studio view, which gives you access to all the effects. Yeah. So the 4 effects are here, you can see it, you can tweak them. But what's so nice about this view is that I can assign all the parameters from this view to some of my macros. So for example, here I've got my mixer and my brightness knob here is turning my macro. But I want to assign my brightness macro to the volume of a part, for example. And now I can change the mix as well as the brightness. Yeah. So basically, AstroLab comes with a set of macros that are made to be super intuitive and very instantly understood by everyone. But when you're performing live, sometimes you want to control multiple things at once. You don't want to think, you just want to turn the same knobs every time. And basically you can program all your patches to do what you need to do the most. And so super powerful to be able to tweak your own macros.
It's really, really powerful, and you probably don't need to go deeper, but if you want, if you have individual instruments from the V collection, so like the full VSTs, then you're going to be able to go inside of the instrument and basically assign any single control on the interface to this. And can be several different controls into a single knob.
But let me show that maybe because so when you own a V collection or an instrument, if you own the Minimoog, for example, you can open the Minimoog on your inside AstroLab, and then you can tweak with the controls. But more importantly, you can again assign the macros to some of the controls. So for example, here my brightness is on the cutoff, but I can also assign it to the drive. And once I've done that, I create my own patch, and I have full control over my Minimoog sound, and I can go quite deep and create really specific patches.
And there are also some curves if you look into the macros control, so you could customize down to the very course of the macro what you want it to do.
You can go really deep with that.
And you can go over it. Let's not talk about it too much.
I mean, maybe the biggest example is the B3, where one macro is actually turning all the drawbars at once. It's it can be quite powerful to those macros.
Definitely, it's really cool. So we've got, in terms of integration, we've got AstroLab, where you can drag and drop the presets. You can find some more sounds, again, organize them into playlists. That's really cool. We've got also AstroLab Connect, which is a phone app that directly connects to your AstroLab and that you can use to explore sounds, filter them, create playlists, manage your existing playlists. So the thing I love to do with this phone app is, if I'm, for example, on the show, and I want to change the order of the songs inside a playlist, I can just do it, by a single swipe. And
it's really
so
convenient
handy.
when you're on the go to have the mobile app. It's
yeah, definitely. What should we talk about now?
I mean, I think we've gone through most of the essentials about the AstroLab. Maybe we can. There are a couple of things that not a lot of people know.
Yeah,
we can show
hidden facts.
I don't know which one. Maybe we can start by showing the audio inputs, because you showed the vocoder.
So I showed the vocoder. You can also plug in some instruments in there. So let's do just this actually. Where is this? I've got a bass right here. We're gonna try to make it work. Basically what it does, it's an MS-20 preset, I think. And it uses the audio input that you have on the original MS-20.
Yeah.
And you can do some crazy stuff with it. Maybe, yeah. And then if you tweak the macros. Which I love because it's just, I mean, this was a keyboard, now it's an effect pedal.
Yeah.
So that's really fun. And yeah.
Oh, so that's something else that's super nice with this is, so we discussed about AstroLab Connect.
Yeah.
But it's not the only thing that you can do, because you also have.
Oh yeah, that's so cool.
You also have Bluetooth audio.
Yeah.
So it means that I can take, for example, if I put my phone here, I can have a backing track that's playing on my phone, and I can maybe.
Nice.
So I mean, I love that. Like, as whenever I practice, whenever I'm at home or on the go, I just need the AstroLab and a phone to have my fully rehearsal practice. Standalone.
Yeah, to me that's so cool because, for example, let's say you record something with the guitar or the bass, but I just, as ones do, put it on my phone because I do voice memos for that. I can just like stream it right into AstroLab, play on top of it, find a new idea, and I don't have to, get my whole setup plugged in. Which I like. Actually, it's really cool to be able to do this.
Yeah.
And there's a last preset that you're going to show.
Yeah, so it's also about connectivity because we discussed about the audio inputs, but we also have MIDI inputs.
Yeah.
So that's quite unique as well, quite powerful, because if you connect a MIDI controller on top of your AstroLab, then you can play the AstroLab with an external controller. So here, for example, maybe change the octave. I've got a Rhodes, and here. So being able to play both parts with different keyboards is quite amazing. That's
really cool.
But there's more, because here, if I take or maybe if I take an organ sound, here I take, that's a B3. And since the keylabs, they're automatically assigned to work well with the AstroLab, you'll see that if I tweak the faders, I'm actually changing the parameters of the B3.
Yeah.
And it's the same with the analog synths. I'm going to be controlling the envelopes of the filter and the amp. And so whenever, if you want to have like really mobile setup, but you still want to have some amount of controls and more keys than just the 37 keys, combining a keylab with the AstroLab 37 makes kind of the best of both worlds.
Yeah, it does.
Where you're fully standalone, but with a really nice, keyboard.
Yeah. Awesome. I think we've been through pretty much all.
Maybe it's time that we look at some questions.
Some questions. There's a bunch of them actually.
Okay.
this is a controller or it has sounds inside.
Oh, okay.
Easy one.
I mean, yeah. So that's a common misunderstanding.
Yep.
Like for a long time at Arturia, we made MIDI controllers, and a lot of people were asking us why it didn't make sound.
Yeah.
And since we released the first AstroLab, it's kind of the opposite. Sometimes people think that the AstroLab is a MIDI controller, but actually no. AstroLab is like a fully standalone hardware synthesizer and keyboard. So I mean, you just need the AstroLab to perform live with it. So that's what makes it unique.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, it's so amazing to have all this flexibility of having all those sounds in a single keyboard.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that it doesn't receive and send MIDI.
Yeah. I mean, it does work as a MIDI controller, as a regular MIDI controller. When I'm connected to AstroLab on my computer, I'm sending MIDI to AstroLab.
Of course.
So it works as a MIDI controller, but it's much more than that.
Can you macro on the phone app too?
Can you macro? So you can.
Can you use macros?
Okay, yeah. I mean, so you have access to the macro parameters on the phone app. So so you can definitely edit in a convenient way. Especially you can edit a bit more parameters that's on the app than on the AstroLab itself.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I tried it the other day and it works. It's like real time, same as the computer. It's really cool. I see it uses 12 of batteries, 12 volts. So is it possible to connect till the... can you connect to like an external power bank, for example? I think that's the question.
I wouldn't recommend. So basically the idea is that AstroLab is still like quite a powerful computer running inside that. Yeah. So it needs quite a bit of power. I mean, it would have been great to have something that runs on battery, but in terms of technology, the amount of horsepower that we have on AstroLab requires to have like a dedicated power supply.
I mean, you can. It's just that your battery is going to run out of battery. Yeah. It's going to die pretty quickly.
I wouldn't recommend, basically.
Okay, yeah. Is the sound engine watered down to fit in such a smaller form factor?
No, actually, I mean, it's exactly the same processor that we have on the AstroLab 61. Yeah. So it means that I have the full models of the instruments. We still have the same polyphony as the 61. So for most of the analog synths, it's going to be 8 voices polyphony. Right. We have some limitations on pigments and the augmented that are can be a bit less, but.
Can I use an expression pedal on it?
Actually, that's an interesting question. So there are differences compared to the 61, mostly on the back panel, because we don't have the expression, we don't have the aux 1 and 2 pedals. So there is a bit of things that we needed to remove to make it fit the size and the price point. And we also have only one audio input. Yeah. So we don't have the stereo input that we have on the AstroLab. Seeing that the most obvious workflow for now is still the vocoder, it makes sense to only keep a mono input.
Yeah. I have the V collection. Any tips on how to tweak my custom presets when on stage without AstroLab connected?
I mean, for now, we're just we have to go through AstroLab to edit sounds in depth. I mean, it's the thing is like there are so many parameters on each of those instruments. I mean, it would be quite overwhelming to display all the parameters of on the AstroLab.
Yeah, definitely.
So I would recommend for now, whenever if you're not ready yet to perform live and you are going to practice and you still need to tweak the sounds in depth, I would recommend go to practice with a computer for now, and do the tweaks on the computer, and it works really well. To be honest,
it works really well. I mean, going from the V collection to AstroLab and then to AstroLab, it's I mean, sounds like you have 3 steps. Yeah. But in fact, it's just really 2 steps of AstroLab, and because the V collection, the way you have to see it is individual softwares, and of course, if you compose with, I mean, how many synths do we have now? It's more than 45. Yeah. And you don't want to have 45 different plugins inside of your DAW running. So we have AstroLab that takes them all together, and that's what runs inside of AstroLab. So I mean, the way it works, and that's what you showed with the Minimoog, is that if you have AstroLab, which is, it comes with AstroLab. If you buy an AstroLab, you have it out of the box. You're going to be able to open the plugins you own directly from AstroLab. So there's no need to open another plugin, synchronize anything. It's just, it's really, really seamless in the way it works. Another question. How many voices of polyphony can we expect? How is the voice tooling managed?
So it's a big question because it really depends on the engines that we're using. As I said, most of the instruments have 8 voices of polyphony. We have augmented instruments that are really CPU intensive because they are multi-layered sounds with a lot of processing. So that can be less than 8 voices, but for the most part it's 8 or more. And of course on the pianos it's going to be closer.
Way more.
So, I mean it's
40. More
48.
48. Hot debate right now. Is it a preset player or a synthesizer?
I mean, just having the 4 macros get it out of the preset player for me. Right. I mean, looking at the I mean, having actual control on the cutoff and on the resonance of the filter, to me, it's not a preset.
It's not a preset player. I mean, the fact that you can interact with the presets and that you have a whole full-fledged effect section plus a chord mod. No, I mean, to me, not a preset player.
I mean, it's definitely an instrument that's focused on finding a sound quickly and make it your own. But so it's not an instrument for sound designing per se, but it still gives you what you need whenever you are trying to fit a specific track with a sound.
I mean, we do synthesizers as well. Yeah. So we had to, I mean, you guys made the choice with the layout and what this product is. And I think it's pretty cool because, I mean, we have all of the super complex synthesizer. We have those less complex synthesizers. And this is just what you need when you're on stage, I think. I mean, not a bunch of controls, LFOs to fiddle with. You can get lost into it pretty quickly. Or you got to learn a single instrument. This is all of the synthesizer you would be looking at in like a huge synth room inside of a 37 keyboard. So that's really, really powerful. There's a question about the limitations on the parameters. So it has internal sounds inside. However, how are the parameters limited?
So basically, as I showed, the hardware is limited to the macros on what you can do to edit the instrument. If you want to have more available, you can connect a keylab, and then you have the 9 faders on top of that. And of course, if you open AstroLab, you have access to more parameters.
So it's limited in the way that on the unit, I mean, you get it out of the box. You get a certain number of macros with parameters pre-assigned, but if you want to go deeper and assign them, that's possible as well. We've got a question on the reverb, which I really like. Let's hear some reverb. Should we take... I think we should take a CS80 for this. There's a bit of reverb on this. That's a reverb. That's like an analog reverb. It's really, really cool. Can you modify the parameters of all sounds, or do you need to buy the software to access to specific parameters? I think I can answer to this one if you want. So you can go through AstroLab to customize a lot of stuff in here. This comes with AstroLab, as I said, so you don't need to pay extra for it. Then if you've got, for example, an instrument that you really like, or you find you find yourself constantly using, then it might be worth it to, buy the full VST, and then you're going to be able to assign really precise parameters on it. If you have the full V collection, that goes for every single instrument. So you could buy some more software and go deeper, but you don't necessarily have to. And that's, I mean, it's really modular in the way it works. Can you edit layers and splits just with the AstroLab 37?
Yeah, no. So for now, we don't have the edition on the AstroLab. So if you want to create your own split from scratch, you need to go to the computer. What you can do, however, is if I have a split or a multi, let's say I have a piano and pad. What I can do is I can long press the main encoder and edit some of the parameters of my split. So for example, I want to change the split points, I can here. I can change the notes of my split point. So there's some edition that I can do, but since that's also something that we had to remove on the 37 because of space constraints. So we don't have the part 1, part 2 and split buttons. And those were the buttons that allowed you to create your own multis. So I mean, in order to save space and cost, we had to reduce. And I mean, since it's a 37 keys keyboard, you're not as likely to create split points on your keyboard. And the multis is a nice feature of this one, but it's not as central as it was on the 61 and the 88, I would say.
Okay. We're slowly running out of time. There's a question on Pure Lo-Fi. Can we play Pure Lo-Fi on it?
I mean, we can play Pure Lo-Fi. I mean, it's, as I said on the augmented, it's one of the instruments that also has a limitation on the polyphony because again, it's using quite a lot of
processing
layers
power.
at the same time. But actually, it's a really nice instrument to. It's a really nice instrument to play on AstroLab because those nice textures. So you can play it, but as I said, we have the augmented, we have Pure Lo-Fi, which needs to have quite a strict restriction on the polyphony because they are super CPU intensive. Of course, it's something that we are always looking at, and we are working on improving the performances of all the instruments. But you can, so right now you can play them, but I hope in the future we can find ways to optimize even more the engines are working, and that we can increase the amount of polyphony that we can have on those really CPU intensive.
I mean, it's a huge part of your work actually. Whenever I try to get in touch with you, you're like, no, I'm working on this. And it's improved a lot since we released AstroLab 61.
Yeah, for sure.
We had a bit of a waiting time, and on the 61 and on the 88, it's almost not here anymore.
I mean, for sure, AstroLab is a super powerful beast, but having like more than 45 instruments built in that means that it takes a bit of time to improve every single instrument in it. So I mean, it's we will find ways to improve some of those more CPU intensive instruments, but it takes a bit of time.
All right, and I think we've answered most of the questions. I'm gonna check them out one last time. Oh, there's this one. This is a great idea. I was waiting for something like this. Thank you. It would be it would be great to see a version without any keys, like a Rackman version. I mean, makes me think about the desktop version if it's without any keys.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of people asking for a desktop version. Time will tell if it's something that we'll bring to the market. For sure, if there's a huge demand, I mean, at some point we'll have to do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it works. All right.
I think we're done.
If you have any other questions, feel free to drop them. We'll try to answer them even
in the chat.
Yes, in the chat. Cool. Thank you guys so much for taking the time actually to see this live stream. And we're super excited about AstroLab 37. There's been a lot of noise, as we said, around it since we launched it. We're really happy to see it going on stage because that's what it ends up doing. And it's adopted by massive artists, which always like super rewarding. Nice. And I think you're pretty excited too. So
I am. Thank you so much for attending this live stream. I hope it gave you some useful information, and I hope you're more excited than you were even before. So until next time, bye.
Bye.